Well, in the last few minutes, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police confirmed that Miranda's security detail has been restored and was initially withdrawn for audit purposes. Now, let's cross live to Lagos and speak to constitutional lawyer Liborous Oshoma. Thank you so much for joining us, Liborous, tonight. Well, so much happening in Lagos at a dizzying speed. First, it was Obasa out, Miranda in, and then Miranda out and Obasa in. And it's still as confusing as ever. First off, what do you make of the events that have led to where we are today?
Yeah, thank you, Gozi and Adesua. The question we should ask ourselves, we just had an election in 2023, and some persons did not agree. A lot of people did not agree with the process of that election. But they ventilated their grievance in courts. They all didn't go to Aso Rock to say, no, we are all occupants of Aso Rock. They ventilated their grievance, and at the end of the day, the court decided one way or the other, and that is why the president is seated today as the president, whether we agree with that election or not. In the same vein, I agree, where it's a matter of nomenclature. I agree that the process for impeachment is even more cumbersome than removal. The provisions of Section 92, subsection 2, paragraph C, is a one-liner that just spells out how the speaker shall be removed. The House rule is a different kettle of fish altogether. It's a rule that cannot supersede the provisions of the Constitution. And so, be that as it may, that proceedings that took place where Obasa was removed was a valid proceedings of the House. And until it is nullified by the courts, then you cannot be talking about Obasa in, Miranda out, and all of that. What we see is an aberration, is laughable. And for me, I will say this with all sense of modesty. The president is known, became popular as a defender of democracy, as people who fought for democracy. Is it the kind of democracy that he wants to bequeath to his people, where people who are accusing, those who accuse Obasa of, those who removed Obasa are the ones being hounded by the police? DSS has invited them on 2 occasions. Obasa has never been invited. And then the next thing, you see the barrage of policemen that escorted him to the house, and you want to tell me that somebody somewhere in Abuja is not masterminding all of this? This is a slap on our democracy. We know, even Obasa had gone to court, his lawyer has applied for accelerated hearing of the originating processes that they have filed. So why don't you wait for the court to decide instead of resorting to self-help? If you think that the processes that were conducted on the day he was removed from office, if you think that the processes did not comply with the rules of the House, the best thing to do, after all, I was not the originator of go to court. It is APC. And so now, he should go to court. I know he's already in court. So now resorting to self-help, and the states, by the state I mean the police, now assisting him. No, it is a slap on our Constitution, really.
Indeed, you've raised a lot of questions, Mr. Oshoma. Mr. Obasa has been speaking a lot today, and he has denied a lot of things, including the legal challenge. He says he did not go to court, he hasn't gone to court. But I want to ask you, since the judiciary has been brought into this, we have seen past instances where the judiciary steps into somewhat political crisis, and they worsen the situation, unfortunately. A case in point being Rivers. Do you foresee Lagos becoming a Rivers where you are having 2 people claiming speakership and you are having a parallel assembly? Is Lagos headed that way, in your opinion?
Let me first and foremost answer that question. The denial that he didn't go to court is a big lie. These are processes, they are all online, and so these processes can be verified. These are court processes, stamped and signed by the Lagos High Court, signed by lawyers for and on behalf of Obasa, Honorable Obasa, Chief Afolabi Fashanu, SAN, Professor J.O. Olatoku, SAN, Olasoji Olawolafe, SAN, Oladele Badeyo Esquire, counsel to the applicant, Afolabi Fashion and Co. And who is the applicant here in these processes that I have here? Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa against Lagos State House of Assembly and and Honorable Mojisola Lasbat Miranda. Motion on notice brought pursuant to Order 42, Rule 1 of the Lagos State High Court Civil Procedure. These are court processes stamped with Lagos State stamp and seal. So you can verify these things. These are processes, they are public documents. And so a situation where a man approaches the court and then you turn around to deny that you did not go to court. And yet we address these people as honorable members. And then you're coming to your next question. Denier, it means that certainly the issue, the question of even complying with the law, you were talking about lawmakers. Compliance with the law becomes a problem for lawmakers. You have approached the court. You queried the processes that ousted you from office, and you went to court. And why don't you wait for that court to decide one way or the other? And look at the case of, you see the laughable part of it is that these are the same people who are asking Governor Fubara in Rivers State to comply with the court order. Now you have in a house of 40 members, you have 4 members sitting and claiming to sit, and then a speaker, a member of the house is claiming to be a speaker over 4 members in the house of 40. And then if we have been condemning what is happening in Rivers State, and the Court of Appeal has also said that the budget passage by 3 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly is a joke taken too far. With what Lagos State government has done, with what Lagos State House of Assembly has done, the state of the president, what they had done is that they have even taken the ball deeper. Don't be surprised that tomorrow you hear that 4 members will sit down and serve impeachment notice on the Lagos State governor. And then the press or government will tell him to go to court. That is the abysmal level we have taken lawmaking. In the case of Rivers, because it's PDP, APC is shouting.
Okay, if I may comment very quickly.
Now APC is repeating the same thing in Lagos State.
There you go. And just like Tokunbo Yotunji asked in his report there, where does the House go from here when you consider that the Governing Advisory Council, the Elders Club in Lagos, if you like, weighed in. The President Tinubu also weighed in on this issue. It could not be resolved. And then you now had the situation where the IGP withdrew the security details of Miranda. And here we are. What's the way forward? Will the courts resolve this issue, or will it be politically resolved?
The president has not waded in the matter. We have not heard the president speak. What we've been hearing is that the Governor's Advisory Council has reported the matter to the president. And I can tell you, if the Obasa is not enjoying the backing of Abuja, by extension the president, he will not be doing what he's doing. Who ordered the police that were running around with him today? The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So if the president waded in, he definitely would have reined in Obasa. But tacitly, he probably enjoys the support of the Mr. President, and that is why he's doing what he's doing. That is why the state is helping him to resort to self-help instead of waiting for the outcome of the court. And so when we say what is the way forward, the law is clear. Section 92, subsection 2, paragraph C is very clear. And if you feel that processes or that the House rules have not been followed, there is a court. If what we are encouraging, if this is allowed to stand, you might be shocked that in the next election, some persons might not even want to go to court. They might decide to resort to self-help. Since the federal government has supported resorting to self-help in Lagos State, the way forward is simple. The rule is the rule. The law is the law. If you have submitted to the jurisdiction of the court, Obasa should sit down and wait. This attempt, how do you say you are taking stock and you withdrew police? You have enough police to attach to Obasa to go back to the house, but you don't have enough to give to the lady that had been nominated and appointed as speaker by her colleagues. And then we are talking about insecurity in Nigeria. You have that number of policemen for one person in the house. And we shouldn't have these shenanigans. The idea is simple. The law is the law. The members, the majority of the members has said, we have removed this man as speaker. If not for the backing of Abuja, he stands removed. All of this is trying to hold on to straw, and which should not be allowed to stand. And we can't pretend about this, that this is democracy. And that is why I feel very aggrieved that somebody like President Tinubu, who has been a bastion of democracy, who had consistently fought, even at the APC meeting a couple of days ago, spoke so much about democracy. And yet, look at the kind of democracy that we are seeing him supporting in Lagos State. It should not be allowed to stand, seriously.
All right, Mr. Oshoma, on the one hand, you said we've not heard from the president and he has not waded in. On the other hand, you say Mr. Obasa has the backing of Abuja. Perhaps you explain to our viewers what exactly you mean by the backing of Abuja. But, you know, this issue of state institutions being used as political tool, it does seem like a very dangerous precedent. Having the police, you know, withdraw details of the speaker and then return them and say it's because of an audit, it really didn't make sense to a lot of people when that statement was issued today. But beyond all of that, there are those who have said the bottom line here is politics. The politics of zoning, the unwritten gentleman agreement that we practice in Nigeria's democracy, that the speaker and the governor cannot come from the same senatorial zone. And that's what has happened in the case of Miranda and Governor Sanwo-Olu. And so Obasa, who comes from another zone, shouldn't have been removed in that instance. Do you buy into that argument at all?
But this is why they say when trees fall on trees, first the topmost are removed. So let me answer your first question and then I move to this last one. The first question, we say in politics, silence means a loud acceptance, or silence sometimes can mean a loud statement. When I say the president in one breath had not waded in, but in another breath he's tacitly supporting this move. We've heard members of the Governor's Advisory Council speak, but we have never heard the president or his aide issue a statement to say, look, we distance ourselves from what is happening in Lagos State. He was a governor of Lagos State. He's the leader of the party in Lagos. He's the leader of the party at the national. So if his state, the house is boiling in his state, certainly. I listened to Eda Fuad, and he said when the president came on holidays for December, that they briefed him of the arrogance of this young man, and that he also agreed that he did, you know, he saw reasons with what the Governor's Advisory Council was saying. And these are not my words. These are words from the party's elders. And then when this thing, the removal took place, and then we now started seeing invitation from DSS. DSS invited the members. And yet, the man who was removed was not invited. And then we now saw another letter from the DSS. We saw the invasion. Even the DSS denying it. I'm saying it with my full chest. That was an invasion. I was not an invitation to keep peace. We saw the day, even though they denied it. And at the end of the day, if somebody invites you to come and keep peace, that there is a threat to peace of the house, won't you invite the parties that accusing fingers are pointed to? Obasa was not invited. Who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces? He's the president. And then we saw what the police had done today. And then you come out to tell me that you were doing audit of policemen. And so you withdrew from Miranda and gave to Obasa. Is that how to do audit? And then on the issue of political solution and the zoning, that is an internal arrangement for them. If they feel that the zoning arrangement had been breached, it is for them to sit down and rearrange their zoning arrangement and not shamefully ridicule democracy the way they are doing in Lagos State, using the instrumentality of the state. That's why some of us are commenting on it. Because as a constitutional lawyer, I look at the provisions of the law and I look at how the House of Assemblies are convened, how speakers are removed, how governors and deputy governors and presidents are removed, and I see a violation of the Constitution. You expect me to say that because your zoning arrangement has been breached, that you can violate the constitution and they use state apparatus arbitrarily, and then we should clap for you. That's the annoyance here. So, zoning arrangements and internal arrangement of the party, it has nothing to do with us.
Right. So now, if Miranda, the speaker, in quote, if the speaker did not resign and she has 26 members or 26 lawmakers supporting her, do they have any recourse?
36.
Or 36 for that matter, yes. I mean, who is the rightful speaker, number one? And do they have any recourse? Where do they turn to?
If the rightful speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly today, by the provisions of the Constitution, is Honorable Miranda. I've not seen it anywhere that she has resigned. And you also saw what happened today. In a house of 40 members, a speaker says he's presiding over the house with 4 members. We saw Honorable Evans BP in Rivers State during Amechi leading 4 other members. We all laughed and said, no, this is not democracy. APC, also shouted to high heavens then that this is not democracy. We are seeing in Rivers State the display, the shameless, outrageous display of irresponsibility. And APC is at the forefront defending, lambasting Fubara for consistently holding on to 3 members. And the same APC is supporting what is happening in Lagos. And you're asking me who is the speaker? The speaker, we all know, in a house of 40 members, 36 are supporting one person and have removed the speaker, appointed another, and you have 4 members dancing by the roadside because they have the police and they are supported by the police, and you think we're asking such questions? It is clear by the provisions of the law, but I consistently talk about Section 92.
All right.
There are no 2 speakers here. If Obasa feels that he was the speaker, then why did he go to court? Why is he denying now that he didn't go to court?
Well, there are more questions than answers.
What was he asking the court to determine?
Constitutional lawyer Liborous Oshoma, thank you so much for your insights. We've definitely not heard the last of this development story and the situation in Lagos State. Thank you.